Adam. The White Hair Master, Episode 5. The Unlucky Old Man. After the case in which the two of us wanted to be a hand of God, Adam and I had a closer connection afterward, making me very happy. We had spent lots of time meeting in person and chatting. I usually asked Adam about some small spiritual cases solutions. I didn't want to be a master like him, but I could learn some excellent tips to stay away from ghosts. Adam reminded me about that day happily. We all picked a brick and tossed it to that asshole's head. That was a pleasant memory to me as well. That day, while we were talking, his phone was ringing. Adam replied to the phone and asked what happened. I could hear the other end was a male voice. It looked like that was Adam's customer. He asked Adam something. After hanging up the phone, Adam told me that he had work to do and tended to leave. That was the weekend, so I asked Adam if I could go with him and help him out. I guess that might be a tough case, so I insisted on him to let me come with him. Adam agreed and let me come with him. We took a cab and went straight to Adam's customer-given address, a store selling worship stuff that was not far from our place. The cab was stopped after less than 20 minutes. That address was a store for worship, for more precisely, the whole street was. The store we stopped by belonged to Dylan's family. Right the moment we opened the door and stepped inside, the owner looked like he had waited for Adam and welcomed him in. He was the one who called Adam there. Dylan was a middle-aged man, more than 50 years old. His face was sad and lifeless. He said that he's sorry for bothering Adam. He looked at Adam as if he found his lifesaver. Adam tried to calm him down, told him not to worry, and asked him to tell Adam what happened to him. Adam wanted to know the whole thing had happened. It looked like the man was too confused earlier and didn't tell him the whole thing through the phone. Mr. Dylan invited Adam and me to sit first, then poured us some drink and told us about what happened to him. Everything was started from the day before when he was at the store. At 10 p.m. yesterday, he was in the front to look after his store. His wife was in the house in the back of the store. During calculating his papers, Mr. Dylan heard a door open sound. He gazed at the door to see. The comer was an old man, looked like more than 70 years old with a pale face. He bore a sick, weird face. Anyways, that was his customer, so Mr. Dylan happily welcomed him and asked him what he was looking for. He started recognizing that the old man was wearing the patient clothes of the next door hospital. He was likely an old patient there. The old man told him that he wanted to find a pair of shoes. His hoarse voice was really annoying. Dylan asked the old man he wanted to buy shoes. His store sold stuff for dead people. But everything in his store has been categorized into different styles, shapes, and sizes. He always wanted to give his customer the best advice. Out of the blue, the old man told Mr. Dylan he wanted to buy for his own with his hoarse, annoying voice. At first, Mr. Dylan was amazed and frightened when hearing what the old man said. He thought that the old man was making a joke, so he replied that his store was selling stuff for dead people only, how he could sell shoes to an old living man. But the old man looked very determined. He stared at Mr. Dylan and assured him that he didn't make any joke. His hoarse voice and his eyes made Mr. Dylan a little scared. Mr. Dylan faltered to the man that he didn't sell. When he gazed down at the old man's legs, he got startled. The old man was wearing loose-fitting clothes. His pants stick to his foot because of blood. He thought the old man was getting a heavy injury. But when Mr. Dylan looked over his back, there was a line of bloody footprints on the floor. He was scared to death at that time. But still, tried to pull himself together. Dylan secretly eyed the old man's face. He was bleeding in his foot, but his face was very calm. It looked like he was in pain at all. His face was just pale and gray out, lifeless. Dylan has worked in his business for years. He has seen some small spiritual cases and heard some, so he firmly believed there were existing ghosts in this world. Mr. Dillon told the old man that there were no shoes of his size available in the store. He had to look for his size in the storage in the back. Mr. Dillon was so sure that the old man was a ghost, so he found a reason to avoid contacting him instantly. After then, Mr. Dillon rushed to the storage in the back. While the old man didn't reply yet, he hurriedly ran for his life. Right after he entered the storage, he locked the door instantly. His heart bounced faster and faster. He was too afraid that the scary old man would come after him. He eavesdropped from the storage door to check the outside. He stayed till for around 30 minutes, and nothing was coming to him. Then he heard a knocking door sound. That made him jump out of his skin. After carefully listening, he heard his wife's voice. She called him out if he was in the storage. He could keep calm, opened the door and went outside. Dillon's wife didn't saw him go into the house as usual. She felt strange and called him by phone multiple times, but he had come to the storage in a rush and forgot about his phone already. Hence, no one answered her phones. The wife was worried sick and came to find him at the store in the front. She didn't see anyone there, so she knocked the storage's door out. At that moment, he could step out of the storage, got back to the store. He heard his wife blame him for his irresponsible for leaving the store. She reminded him there must have been robbed. All of his money had been taken already. He saw the missed calls from his phone. There must have been 7 or 8 missed calls. He checked around the store. There was no scary old man nor bloody footprints on the ground at all. Mr. Dillon looked at his wife and scarily replied to her with his shaking voice. He said to her about what he has experienced earlier. He was likely to see a ghost. Seeing Mr. Dillon acting weird, the wife shouted aloud he had seen a ghost and asked him to tell her in more detail. At that moment, Mr. Dillon came to the computer and checked out the camera's records. Dillon told his wife his thought while he was clicking on the camera's record. He wanted to check if he could see anything from the camera footage. He was afraid he would not see anything from the camera if that old man was really a ghost. Dillon's wife also watched the camera's record with him, but unfortunately, they saw no old man in there. In the playing video, the camera had recorded that there was a moment. Mr. Dillon talked by himself as if he was murmured with the air. The two of them were very scared of that. Dillon thought of hiding himself in the storage when the old man came again. He thought the old man would definitely come by another time because he had come by the day before. That ghost man would not go easy on him. Hiding was not a good solution, and he was unable to sleep well already, so he called and invited Adam. Adam replied to him and assured Mr. Dillon that he could back home, take a good rest, and sleep tight that night because Adam and I would stay over to look after his store. I felt a bit anxious, both worried and excited about what I might see, but Adam stayed calm. Adam and I left the store. He told the owner that we would back at night. Mr. Dillon said thank you to us. After leaving the store, we walked back. I curiously asked him if I could help him anything this time. Adam told me that I could play the owner's role and sell the old man his shoes. That was my mission that night. Adam started using me for his psychic job. He used to my present, and I was likely to be braver afterward. I asked him where we gotta go next. He told me we need to prepare the old man a pair of shoes. I followed him in silence. After then, Adam took me to a paper stuff store. The store was full of paper toys, animal-like toys such as cows, horses, dolls. Looking at those familiar things made from papers was really interesting to me. The owner looked like he knows Adam very well. He went straight to the point and asked Adam what Adam wanted this time instantly once he saw Adam. Adam replied in short. He requested the owner to make him a pair of paper shoes for the elderly. After then, the owner took some colorful papers and started working. I observed the owner on how he could make a pair of shoes by paper. He got very skillful hands. Not long later, a pair of paper shoes had been made, with a perfect mix of colors and shapes. Ignored the color theme wasn't living. It looked like a real pair of shoes. Adam paid for the shoes, and we left. At night, as promised, we backed to the store. Adam asked me to come inside and wait for the old man by myself. I was both worried and excited and felt every slowly second flew by. I checked on the door every minute. I didn't want the old man to startle me all of a sudden. The ghost man would be there in no time. I had to put my guard up. When it was 10 p.m., at that time, I was a bit shaken. I saw the door was pushing slowly. And indeed, the ghost man came. Looked exactly like what Mr. Dillon described. He was skinny, sickly. His face looked pale and covered with gray. With my little experiences after following Adam a few times, I could see the abnormal in the old man at first glance. I eyed down his legs, and yeah, there was blood on the floor like what Mr. Dillon had told. The old man walked in barefoot, which was bleeding. Blood was dragging all the way he stepped in. I tried to clear my throat and gave my best to ask him if he wanted to buy the prepared pair of shoes. I told him we had a brand new shoe type, and they were very nice to him. The ghost man took the pair of shoes and put them on his foot. They were fit him very well. He looked delighted with the pair of shoes. He gave me a piece of money, which was Joss paper. Honestly, that was the first time I have received the Joss paper for a transaction. It made me a bit shaken. After paying for the pair of shoes, the ghost man turned his back and walked away. I received the money and nearly jumped out of my skin. My heart was likely to miss a beat. After the old man leaving the door, I left the store and came after him quietly. I saw Adam outside instantly, but not the ghost man. The old man was indeed a ghost without a doubt. At his age, there was no one could walk that fast. Adam took from his bag out 2 red bands, gave me one, and asked me to wear it in the eyes. He told me that was the only way I could see and came after the old man. I was hesitant. How the heck I could see a thing when covering my eyes with that red band? I asked him curiously if he was sure that worked. He assured me that I just followed his lead and would see the magical thing happen. He didn't explain anything else. He covered his eyes with the red band. After tying the red band to my eyes, my first thought was I was supposed to see nothing, but I was wrong. The red band wasn't thick like its look. I could see everything around me, but it was a bit blurry. I looked at the ground and saw the blood footprint trace. That might be the magical thing, thanks to the red band Adam had mentioned about. Even though we could be 70% sure that the patient came from the nearby hospital through his clothes, Adam wanted to see it with his own eyes. He told me to follow those footprints and saw where he came from. I came after Adam, and we followed the trace of blood. And as our guesses, those bloody footprints led us to the nearby hospital. The footprints led us inside the hospital to a particular treatment area. At that moment, I could realize that it was the hospital's morgue. Adam and I took off our red band. Everything was likely to be on track to Adam. Even he was walking by me, but I still got scared. Adam called the director of the hospital and asked him for help politely. I asked him if he knew the hospital director. He told me he used to work with him a few times earlier. I admired him. His network was really large, as if people in every field in this society used to work with him. We waited for 20 minutes to see the director. He was likely to know Adam very well. He told us he was sorry for letting us waiting for him that long. After greeting and introducing a bit about me, Adam asked him what he wanted to know swiftly if a newly dead body was sent to the hospital earlier. Director Lincoln thought a bit, then replied to us a yes. He opened the morgue's door and let us in. The morgue was covering with a cold, gray atmosphere. Director Lincoln took us to a dead bed. A dead body was covered with a white blanket. Director Lincoln said that might be who we wanted to see. Director Lincoln slowly pulled the white blanket out. I saw the face of the ghost man earlier, even though I have prepared for that, but it still made the hairs on the back of my neck stand up. The white blanket finally pulled all out, exposed the dead body under the light. The dead body's foot was wearing the pair of paper shoes that I had sold him earlier. Director Lincoln was terrifying when seeing the pair of shoes. He shouted out that he remembered there were no shoes when the dead body was brought in and how the dead old man was wearing them. Adam asked about the ghost man. How many days did the dead body bring into the hospital? Director Lincoln replied that the old man had been in an accident at construction and brought to the morgue 2 days earlier. He had noticed the old man's family come to pick his dead body up. But no one came so far to pick him up. Adam asked Director Lincoln to check the old man's identity. He comfortably helped without a doubt. Director Lincoln was very thoughtful in escorting us to the hospital gate afterward. Adam said thank you to him and offered him a drink next time. After leaving the hospital, I followed Adam to head back to Mr. Dillon's store. I saw Adam take out a set of paper clothes for dead people, a pair of shoes with the old man's name in them, thanks to Director Dillon. I was a bit vague and wanted to know what Adam was doing. Did he wanted to worship the old man? Adam explained briefly to me. The old man had no family to pick him up, so he might be very lonely and in need. We had to send him some things. That all made so much sense to me, so I didn't ask anything else for what he was doing. That was really unbelievable, but seeing what happened, I wasn't able not to believe it. Adam told me to bring things up with him to the crossroads to burn everything out. We came to a nearby crossroad and started to burn those paper stuff for the old man. I looked at the dust and wondered if the old man could receive those things. After everything had burnt out, Mr. Dillon thanked us profusely and said goodbye to us. At that moment, I was fatigued. I yawned a big yawn and was very sleepy then. I asked Adam if I could head home. Everything had been sorted out already. I wanted to head home badly. Adam asked me to help him clean things up before leaving, so we found a broom nearby and started cleaning things up. I wanted to hurry home. We have to save the environment in any situation, you know. After that night, we had received a little money and a thank you letter from Mr. Dillon. The ghost man hasn't ever come back to see him, and he didn't have a gut to stay late at the store as before.